All right, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine, and thank you so much for joining me for today's special Friday Masterclass. A little bit different format today, and we're doing something a little different because we're bringing on some guests and talking about some technologies that I believe we have never showcased here. How is this possible? On Adobe Live, speaking specifically about Adobe Sign. So I'm going to bring on two of my esteemed Adobe colleagues in just a moment to do that. As always, of course, we're coming to you live across a series of different networks. We've got YouTube, Behance, Adobe Live, Twitter, and Facebook. So thanks everyone for joining on all the various platforms. Great to see you. Happy Friday as I'm pulling up the Behance chat as we speak. Of course, if you want to follow the live chat, in other words, the chat and the questions that I'll be answering and compiling live so I can feed them to Meenu and Karen, b.net/Adobe Live. That is where you want to be. That is the chat that I'll be reading live. So again, I've got all the other ones here. I can see we've got a lot of people joining on my YouTube channel and across all the other networks. So stick around. Again, if you've never seen Adobe Sign, it's super important, super necessary. And again, it's kind of hard to believe that I haven't shown this on the stream before, largely because Adobe Sign is something that any freelancer, every freelancer can probably identify with, which is the need and the concept of signing contracts, signing forms, maybe even authoring your own, creating templates for things that you routinely do as a freelancer. Well, we're going to talk about that today. So joining me now, I've got Karen Kauffman and Meenu Thind. You might remember Meenu. She was in the Max keynote with me showcasing Adobe Acrobat. So please give them a warm Adobe Live welcome to Meenu and Karen. It's wonderful to see you both. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jason. Super excited to be here. And Karen, you can go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Thanks, Meenu. Yeah, I'm Karen. I work with Meenu. Jason's a lot of fun to work with, as I'm sure you all know. So we're all happy to be here today.
Yay. So Meenu, maybe you could also just give a little bit of background about yourself. Obviously, I just mentioned you were in the Max keynote, and that's how we actually got to know each other working on the keynote. And, I said at the time, how is it that we haven't had a sort of a feature for Acrobat? Because it's such an integral part, whether people realize it or not, right? PDF on one side of it is such an integral part of just our digital document lives, but Adobe Sign could potentially be an even larger part for the freelance creative. And that's what you're going to talk about today, right?
Yep, exactly. So like Jason said, we met at Adobe Max, and that's how we got to know each other. And I asked him if I can go live with him showing Adobe Sign. And I think Adobe Sign is very important for freelancers, for anyone in the creative world, really, when you're signing a contract, right? So I think it's very important. It also it eliminates the process of printing, scanning, mailing the document, getting in-person signatures. Sometimes it can become awkward when you're getting signatures on contracts where it involves payments. So Adobe Sign makes all of that very smooth and easy.
Awesome. And I know that Karen is going to talk about specifically something that I nerded out over, which is this audit trail, because again, it was bad enough in the mailing contract paper world, which I sometimes still deal with as a music publisher. But in the digital world, of course, we need to know when, clients have received said statement of work, or you're billing it. Like, have they seen it? Have they opened it at least? Have they signed it? Have they passed it around? And this is one of the amazing things that Sign will do, of course, is show you the complete audit/paper trail of everyone who's engaged with this document and kind of shown you the whole process so that like people have eyes on it, and that, ultimately you're going to get paid for the work that you're doing, or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so Meenu, before I turn it over to you and Karen, just want to say a couple of quick shout outs to Reverb Mike. Great to see you. Agurpasad, hello. Hello, Meenu, Cornell, Monica, Umbacorn, Bruce, Cody Bear, Steve Kosaboom. Wonderful to see you. Anthony Villa, Annika, Rick Adams. All right, Lorianne. Wow, lots of people here today. Fiorella, Tim, of course, great to see you. Elizabeth Mock. All right, and we've got Karen Brisa and TR Bolin and Stephanie and Greg over on the Twitters. So thank you so much for joining. Okay, so I don't want to take up any more time. I know we've got a lot of stuff to show. Everyone watching, please pay attention to this. This is great stuff. As someone myself who again, deals with a lot of sort of contract signing. I talked about this with Karen and Meenu. We're so used to kind of thinking, DocuSign, right? But as Creative Cloud users, members, subscribers, you have access to Adobe Sign, and it's easy. And as Meenu's going to show you, this is something that you can do, that you can create templates for, that you can use easily, and it just makes that whole approval process, signature process, so much easier, and you're staying within the Adobe family. So without further ado, I'm going to take myself out. I might pop in Meenu and Karen to forward a question to you as they're coming through in the chats. But Meenu, I'm going to go ahead and share your screen. So if you want to pull up your opening document, there it is right there. And I'll let you take it over. And then maybe too, if you could just sort of, before we even get started, tell people, so how do they get access to Adobe Sign in the first place?
Yeah, so you could get access to it by purchasing a license online, a one-user license. But if you own a company or if you work for a company, you could always reach out. You could submit a form online, and one of our sales reps will reach out to you to show you a demo, talk to you about licensing, talk to you about how many transactions you're doing a month. Transactions means envelopes, how many documents you're sending out for a signature. But if you're a freelancer, you can easily just go sign up on your own on Adobe. You can Google Adobe Sign and sign up and start using it.
Okay. And this is an app, of course, they can get in the Apple App Store, Google Play,
yes,
everywhere, right, for all devices. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take myself out and take it away.
Awesome. So here I am in the Adobe Sign interface, right? So you can see here, this is my company, Filmsville, and I'll be working with Karen, who's my friend, and she's freelancing for me for videography and photography for one of my clients. So her company is called Kauffman Cinema, and I'll be sending her a contract for signature because I want to work with her. So you can see that there's a bunch of different features here that you could use, but today we'll be sending a document for signature. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going to the Send tab. So I'll just click on the Send tab. And once I click on the Send tab, it'll take me to this place where it says Get Documents Signed, right? So really straightforward, easy to use. So now I'll just type in an email. So I'll type in Karen's email, sign Adobe 3. And then you could see that, there's options complete in order or complete in any order, depending on how many people you're sending it to. In this case, I'm only sending it to Karen, and then I'll also add myself. But I want to add myself as the first signer and then Karen as the second signer. So there's different levels of authentication too. So we'll just be using email today for Karen, and then you could also add a private message. So now I'll go ahead and add my files. I'll just choose a file from my computer. You can see that there's templates that you can select as well. But today I'll just be using this Filmsville contract that was created by my company. You could see on the right-hand side, there's different options for password protect and set reminders, but we won't be doing that today. So let's go ahead and preview and add signature fields and then click next. So the reason why I'm previewing and adding signature fields is because this is just a blank, it's a contract with no signature fields added on it yet. So if I didn't have Adobe Sign, I would be printing it, signing it with a pen, and then mailing it to Karen or getting that in-person signature. But with Adobe Sign, I can add those signature fields. So I'll go ahead and click next. And please feel free to ask any questions in the chat pod. I'll be happy to answer them. So
yeah, actually, Meenu, there was a question just now about, okay, but if I just import a regular document without signature fields, how do I add signature fields? So perfect timing.
Yeah.
And thank you, Dave, for the question.
Asked and answered. Awesome. Great. So this is my contract. As you can see, it's my Filmsville Productions contract between Filmsville Productions and Kauffman Cinema. I'm just going to scroll down here, and then you can see that there's no signature fields added. I'll just scroll to my right-hand side, and I can drag and drop that signature field on the document itself, and then I'll go ahead and drag another signature field on the document. And
by the way, just to clarify, so again, person A is importing this document. Now it's been typed in Word, wherever, mail. So they left a line for the signature, but it's not a field that is understood by Acrobat or anything. So that's what you're doing. You're dragging in to make this understood that this is where a signature gets placed via Adobe Sign specifically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, so I just dragged and dropped these signature fields. As Jason mentioned, there's no typable field or editable field, as you want to call it, on this document. So now there is, right? If I go to the right-hand side here, I can see that Meenu is a pink color, myself, and then Karen is a gold color. So here you can see that both of these fields are pink, which might be, Adobe might be thinking like, okay, these fields are both for Meenu. We don't want that. So we want this field to be for Karen. So what I can do is I can either click on it and then click on Karen, or I could go to edit and then I can select Karen as I can assign it to Karen and then it'll turn gold. And then I'll click OK just to save that. So
And this is
again,
really nice because this just allows you to visually identify like different signatures for different people. I know it's a simple thing, but I love this. I think as visual artists, we love this too, right? So you're actually assigning a person, a persona to each of those fields, which it's color coding for you automatically, which I think is great just for organizational purposes and kind of keeping things together, particularly if there's like multiple people in your, maybe you have you're a 2 to 3 person production house or a shop among multiple freelancers. It's just easy to track who needs to sign and that there's multiple individuals that this document is meant for.
yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
So yeah, so now you can see that that's a pink color, that's a gold color. So now I'll just show you different fields. Like you can see all these different signature fields. There's signer info fields, there's data fields, and then there's more fields as well. But under data fields, I actually want a headshot of Karen because I want to know what Karen looks like, and I just want to see her beautiful face. So I'll go ahead and drag and drop this image. And now this could be a headshot. This could be an image of a barcode. Maybe you want an image of a receipt, or maybe even an image of a dinosaur. It doesn't really matter what the image is. But what Karen will be asked to do is she'll be asked to attach an image onto this document because this field is there and because this field is assigned to Karen, right? So if you go to right click and you go to edit, you can assign it to whomever is on this document, right? So I'll assign it to Karen. I'll make that field required, and then you can see the asterisk is right on the left-hand side on the image, and then I'll just click OK, right? So now,
Hey Meenu, before you move forward, quick question from Robert Winterberg. So can you also do everything that you're doing here? Can this be done on the mobile app as well? Can you add fields to documents on the mobile app, or this has to be done on the desktop in the web UI?
I believe you can do it on the mobile app. Karen, would you know if that's possible?
Yeah, we generally suggest just using the mobile app for receiving signatures. So the mobile app works really well, especially if you want to get a signature in person. Like I can actually sign it and hand it off to somebody else I'm physically standing next to and get them to sign it as well. But
Awesome.
I mean, the user experience online is going to be a lot easier to work with. Good question, though.
Cool. Okay, great. Continue. See, a lot of engagement. I told you I was going to interrupt you here. People are into it. Also, Derby Colors says, woohoo. Okay. All right.
So now that I have all my fields that I need on the document, what I'll do is it's ready to send out, right? So what I'll do is as the sender, I can either save it as a template, which will get saved into my Adobe Sign, or I could sign it and then send it, right? So why does it say sign and send? Because I have to sign it first and then Karen signs it. So I'll go ahead and click on sign, then send. And then it's just submitting the document into Adobe Sign, preparing the document, and then boom, now it's asking me to sign first. So now I can just click on the start button, which you guys are probably familiar with this start button on other electronic signature solutions, but it directs me exactly where I need to sign. So I'll go ahead and sign here. And then there's different options, right? So I can either type out my signature, I can draw it out with my keypad, I can upload an image of my wet signature, or I can send it to my mobile device. In this case, I'll just go ahead and type out my signature and apply it. And then I'll go ahead and click to sign. So now it says you've successfully completed your document. Now the next person is Karen who needs to sign. So I'll pass it on to Karen.
All right.
Thanks, Meenu. So Oh, sorry, Jason. I think I cut you off.
Oh no, I was gonna say you're ready to go.
Sounds good. All right. So I've already got my inbox open. I'm really excited when I see that this email comes in from Meenu because, we all love doing the work we do, but when you actually get contracts of somebody offering to pay you, that feels even better. So I see this email from Meenu pops into my inbox. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to see the branding from her company. Filmsville's right there. I'm going to see she's requesting my signature on the contract. This is the contract we just saw her create, and it's now in my inbox. So this blue button is calling out to me. It says review and sign. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and we're going to see where it takes me. So a little bit of a waiting game here, but we should see the Adobe user interface very soon. And here it is. So once again, I see the branding of Meenu's company up on the top left. I see the document opened up here that she just created. We all know nobody reads documents that they sign, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip all the way to the bottom. And then I can see she's asking for my signature, and she's also asking for an image. So as Meenu stated, she wants a headshot to see what I look like. So begrudgingly, I will upload an image of myself. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a file from my computer. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and I am going to upload a picture of myself. There is a rather amusing story of where this picture came from or where it was taken, but I will save that for another day. So that is a picture of myself there. I am going to go ahead and sign the document now. So once again, this is going to look similar to what we saw on Meenu's side, but now I'm going to sign it as well. So you'll see the same options here. I'm going to also just use the e-signature by typing my name out, and I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. So I can already see Meenu's signature is on the screen. She's already done her part. Now I've done my part by uploading a picture of myself and signing it. So with that, I see a little prompt down here to click to sign. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the next big blue button I see. And then I see that I'm all set. So I'm on this landing page now. I have finished signing the Filmsville Kauffman contract, and we see that an email has been sent to all parties. So I can download a copy right now. I can also head back to my inbox and see that I once again have another email from Adobe Sign. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We'll see that all parties have finished signing it. So this is great. I have my documentation ready to go. It's the agreement between Meenu and I. And I'm going to go ahead and open the document just to make sure everything looks as I expected. So we're going to scroll through all the text here. Skip to the bottom. This looks just like it did when I signed it. I see her signature. I see my signature. My face is still there. I don't really want to look at that for too long. So I'm going to skip off to the audit trail. So here's the contract. You'll see that every interaction has been timestamped. So we see when it was created, we see all the steps in between, and we see when it was completed. So now I have full documentation. If Meenu's company is going to try to not pay me or get away with something, then I have my documents ready to go. So I am able to collect payment later, which is good. So that is really the gist of the audit trail. It's great to have your documents always ready. So if there's ever any sort of spat later over the actual things that have been agreed on, then we all have that ready to go. I have this agreement. Meenu has this agreement. We're all on the same page. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to Meenu, unless, sounds like Jason might have questions.
Yeah, quick question before we move from the audit trail. So now, does everyone involved in the document signing have access to that audit trail? So everyone who's a signer can see where it is or who's interacted with it, or is it only you because it was sent to you that you can see that?
So once everybody who is involved in the signing process downloads a copy, they get that audit trail on the second
They'll see
page.
the same audit trail. Okay, very cool. Okay,
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, so Meenu, are we going back to your screen?
We are.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So we're pretty much done with that demo. As you can see, Adobe Sign is very user-friendly and easy to use, right? So that's the whole point of eliminating the paper-based processes and digitizing the signing process, right? We want to make it super easy, super simple, and anyone can really use it, right? So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much, Jason, for having us today. This was super exciting. It's both of our first time going live, right, Karen? I think it's your first time as well.
It is, yeah, making our Adobe Live debut.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is super exciting for us. If you want to see more videos on Adobe Sign, we have our own YouTube channel called Adobe Sign Dojo, which I'll have Jason link down below. So you could subscribe, watch videos, comment on what you would like to see. And we're happy to show you. And it's not just Adobe Sign, we'll also be showing Acrobat as well. So yeah, let us know.
Very nice. Now, before you go, I got a couple of questions here. So,
Sure.
Gurprasad, who appears to be maybe a family member of yours, is asking, is there a max limit on how many emails can be a part of the signature document? Let's say for an entire crew cast release form, for example. Great question.
Karen, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, was there a limit to the amount of signatures on the document?
Mm-hmm.
So I know in the web portal, I believe we allow, like when Meenu went through her list of signatures, I believe we allow up to 10 in the web portal. So the web portal is supposed to be a very simple user interface. We do have an API if you want to get into really technical grittiness, and that will allow for a ton of different signers. So we do have more scalable solutions, but I believe the web portal allows for 10 signers to be designated.
Yeah, and then going off.
Go ahead, Meenu. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jason. Going off of what Karen said, we do have bulk send, which allows you to basically get, like, I think 100 different signatures using an Excel sheet with everyone's first names, last names, email addresses, and then uploading it as a CSV file. And then we also have GigaSign, which allows you, I think, 2,500 recipients you could send it to. Yeah, so GigaSign is a new feature with Adobe Sign, and I think we're the only electronic signature solution that has something like GigaSign. But so
very cool.
I hope that answers your question, Gurprasad.
Indeed. Cody Bear is saying the audit report is very useful. Steve Vestas, Kosoboom, great stuff. Cody, thank you for also putting the Adobe Sign YouTube channel in the chat here. Wonderful. I'll also be adding it to the description on YouTube as well, so we'll be able to access that after the fact. Oh, and you should also customize your channel name. You should get that going on, because right now it's a combination of letters, numbers, uppercase, lowercase.
We might need your help with that, Jason.
Yeah, that's right. Reverb Mike is saying, there was that one time when I hit send all, the horror. Yes. Steve is asking, so CSV is the contacts file format? So can you just import like a CSV file so that it automatically creates all of the necessary signature fields from a doc, from an Excel doc like that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Meenu.
Go ahead.
No, yeah. So the send in bulk, we have a lot of documentation on this online, so we're happy to attach that so you can kind of have it for your own reference. But there's a bunch of designated fields that you're going to add, and this is for bulk send or GigaSign. But we have a list of column headers that you'll want to use, and then you can populate a bunch of the fields underneath it. And then when you upload that CSV, make sure it is a CSV. I know a lot of people use Excel, and then it's got the wrong file.
Yes. You want specifically CSV as the format. Yeah.
CSV specifically. So, and then you can you can upload it from there. There's specific column headers that correlate to each tool, and then you can import the fields straight from there.
You can also add a message section on your CSV. So when we say CSV, we really just mean an Excel file that you can convert to CSV once you're done making it, creating everything. But you could add like a private message file, column where you maybe I send a private message to Robert and say, hey, Robert, you need to sign here and this, whatever, or I only need your initials or something like that. So that'll get auto-populated onto that whenever that recipient gets the document.
Yeah, I mean, you have the sort of the global messaging in that initial email that you sent out, as well as private messaging. Two things I wanted to point out, which some of you watching, I think, kind of noticed or wondering about. So the auto signature field detection and that stuff, that's actually using Adobe Sensei, right? Like the same Sensei that we have in all of our other creative products.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, share technologies with Adobe Sign. If you haven't already tried this, absolutely please download it, go to the App Store, go to Google Play, check this out. If you haven't been using it, now you'll wonder why, because again, it just makes life easier. By the way, speaking of CSV too, of course, many people on the production side are familiar with that because we use CSV in After Effects for a number of things. Specifically, motion graphics templates can take advantage of CSV files for things like lower third graphics. So, if you're watching TV, you have, newscaster, sportscaster, and it's like Jason Levine, so-and-so, or, my typical one, which is this. You can have multiple people's names in a CSV document with their title and whatever it is, and feed that into After Effects via Essential Graphics panel, and it'll take all those names and create. You'll be able to use the text in that document to feed the graphics engine, which is very easy, right? Without having to type it all in manually. Same concept here that the two of you were describing. So I love that. I love that there's that sort of shared capabilities. Robert, again, is asking, what method to sign can you use? I think you both already answered that, right? So
yeah, so there's sort of 4 different methods. You could type out your signature, which will create an automatic cursive version of your signature. You can draw it out with your keypad, and then you could also upload an image of your wet signature. So some people like to do that. And then you could send it to your mobile device and actually just type in your number. It'll send you a link via SMS. You click on that link, turn your phone horizontally, and then you can sign with a swipe of your finger. So that's like the 4th way to sign, but there's 4 different ways.
Nice. Karen, this might be a question for you. I know we hadn't really discussed this ahead of time, but JT is asking something about in terms of security and encryption. So is there anything that you can kind of talk to a bit about the sort of the chain of command here and how we keep it secure as it's going, like we saw, it was in your Gmail there, right? So what are we doing to kind of ensure the security of these signed documents?
Yeah, definitely. So I think there's a few different factors that play into that. So for one, Meenu touched on authentication. So when we're sending the document out for signature, you can have phone-based authentication, where it make essentially just different factors of 2-factor authentication. There's a few different ways.
Oh, cool.
To do it.
Okay.
So on that end, number of different authentication methods. If you're worried that maybe there's like a shared inbox and the wrong person's going to get a hold of it, you can definitely take advantage of that. On the more technical side, we have like a huge catalog that goes into very, detailed descriptions of cryptography and containerization and sort of the highest level of security measures we go into. And I won't go into too much detail on that, but I mean, many of our customers are within government, within financial or banking institutions, and lots of school districts and health organizations, and all these organizations you would assume have, data that they take privacy very seriously regarding their data. So a lot of different compliance things. We have a very large legal team that works with all that. So security comes up a lot, of course. All these documents flying around the internet, it's understood that there's lots of concern about data breaches and things like that, because we hear it in the news all the time. But we do take privacy very seriously. And we have quite a few documents around trust and Adobe privacy policies and things like that.
Awesome. Okay, so before I let you go, where can people find the two of you specifically? So we've got the YouTube channel for Sign in the chats. What about the two of you? Do you want to share any of your socials or where people can reach out if they have more questions about what they saw today? They can reach you directly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share my phone number. I also have
don't do that. Yeah. No home address or anything. Just Twitter, Instagram. That's all we need.
I do have
TikTok
Instagram.
Or something.
It's just my first and last name, Meenu Thind. I do have a YouTube channel called Meenu Thind, so you could just look me up, or Karen as well. So we'll be posting more videos on Adobe Sign Dojo. We might be going live with Jason again if he has time for us.
Always make time.
Yeah, I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. It's just my full name, Karen Kauffman 3. Apparently there was a Karen Kauffman 1 and 2 who are better and got to it first. So just if you just search my name with Adobe or something, it'll pop up on my LinkedIn will pop up as well. So you can reach us through any of those means.
Okay, awesome. Well, Karen, Meenu, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so great. And again, I think this is the kind of info that everyone in our creative community can really benefit from. And now, if maybe they were somewhat aware of this, but again, we know that there are other similar techs out there. But if we want to keep it in the Adobe family, you already kind of have access to it, right? And to sign in, are you just using your standard Adobe ID, right? So if you have an Adobe ID already from Creative Cloud, the same Adobe ID works in Sign, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So it's super easy to get started. Please check it out. Meenu, Karen, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great break. I don't know if I'll see either of you next week, so Happy
Thank
holidays.
you.
Have a wonderful shutdown and everything. Thank you so much again for joining, and we'll see you again here on Adobe Live.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks,
All right,
Jason.
you too.
Fun.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was so awesome. Thank you so much. And again, thanks to Meenu and Karen for joining me. So, hopefully in the new year, we're going to be doing a lot more of these types of streams, bringing other people on, showcasing some new fresh faces and voices for our various products and things that we do. There's always new stuff being welcomed into the Adobe family, and I love being able to showcase those things to you. So again, thank you so much to the two of them for joining, and lots of thanks in the chats if you're still watching and listening. I will Slack the two of you after so we can have a little postmortem. Didn't cover that before I took you out of the chat. That's fine. So what I thought we would do for the last half hour or so, 20 minutes or so, was well, initially I'd planned to do kind of some holiday music and some other things, and then I scratched that idea. Ubaid, you're very kind. Ubaid Uraman from Pakistan. Love you too. Thank you so much. Karaim Brisa, great to see you, and thank you as always. Haley Tice is saying it's cool to see the biz side. Couldn't agree more. Robert, thanks. Meenu and Karen, yes, wonderful. Bruce, thank you. Okay, this is so great. Rocio Alegre, thank you. Okay, so I thought what we would do is actually just go over some random old school archive footage and also showcase some holiday things that I did approximately a decade ago. So some of you may remember, and I'm gonna see if I can just pull this up real quickly, that I had this children's music show that I produced about a decade ago called Just Play Music. Talked about it on the stream before. Long story short, shot, I can't remember now how many episodes. I think it was 12. It was 12 or 14 episodes over about 3 days, 22-minute episodes. And I was in it, so I was the performer, the presenter, the director, the live action person. I had one additional camera person. Everything else was just mounted cameras all over the room. And it was all about, how music inspires people and how it just brings joy to your life, and how if you can find the groove, you can find a new way of sort of experiencing joy. And it was a neat concept that ultimately remains on the cutting room floor. So after having recently watched twice now The Beatles Get Back, amazing film on Disney Plus, newly edited by Peter Jackson, I was thinking, maybe it could be interesting to do a Get Back style video of the children's show. Primarily because I'm not going to put out that thing from, I'm not going to put out the whole thing from 10 years ago. It's just too long ago. And it's weird to see myself then. And also I just talk about things differently now. But I thought maybe, is it cool to kind of see, because I have all the BTS stuff, all the random outtakes, and I started going through this footage. Maybe I'll show you a little bit in just a second here. But I don't know. Tell me if you think that's a cool idea. And it would be kind of a cool way to see what we were doing and what it was all about without having to see 12 episodes worth. Still means I got to go through all this footage and relog it and do all these things. But take a quick look at this. Now this is from, so that same year. Hold on, see if I can just scrub ahead for you. That's me. How is that even the same person? The year that I did this show, in an effort to bring some content to the web, I decided that if anybody at that time had purchased any of my music, now I say purchased because this was 2011, so we didn't really have Spotify here in the US at that time. Apple Music was not yet a thing. It was just iTunes. So I had put out some tweets and things and said, hey, if you go ahead and purchase any of my, songs for 99 cents, I will record you a holiday greeting performing the songs that you purchased. So as I was just telling Meenu and Karen the story. So after and it was time limited. There was like a week to do this. So after like the first day, I think I got 10 people who bought some songs, and I recorded these you can see very personalized, like at the piano, multi-camera, singing live, whatever. Look at how much shorter my hair was too, and darker. So dark. It used to have color in it. This is also pre-workout, Jason, so very different face there. In any case, I had 10 on the first day, and I thought, okay, well, that's not bad. Not great. Did all 10 videos, and then the next day, I had like 50 more. Okay. And then the next day, I had about 50 more. So it got really overwhelming really fast. I did wind up recording 100 plus holiday videos. Mind you, these were for 99-cent songs. So time management, ROI, maybe not the best idea, but, you know, was definitely trying to do something nice for the community. And I was very appreciative of anyone buying songs back then. So Reverb Mike, you had a Zune. Haha. Yes. Nice. Michael Snyder. Yes. Get Back was awesome. Okay. Go for it, says Robert. Yeah, says Haley. Lorianne. Yes. All right, cool. Yeah. Cody Bear. Umacorn. All right. Maybe that's what I'll do. So in any case, why don't I play just a couple seconds of a couple of these videos? By the way, I'm going to change. I want them to be in sync. My camera might go out of sync for a second, so just bear with me. All right. I might just take myself out. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one and let you see what I was doing 10 years ago. For anyone who purchased a song of mine, take a listen.
Hey there, Todd. So since you purchased The Grinch, I thought, of course, it would be appropriate to at least play a few bars of The Grinch for you. And maybe give you a little something extra, too. My earlier setup didn't work quite so well. So I hope this one does, and enjoy a couple bars of The Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr.
Hey, as I'm playing this, is it really quiet? I just realized it's not going. Oh, for heaven's sake! Nice face too. No, it's not even going through the proper output for. You couldn't even hear it. Let's do this again.
And enjoy a couple bars of
There we go.
The Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a he. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black pea. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. And now...
Oh, thank you, Megan. Thank you, Cody. You are so very sweet. Elizabeth, Lorianne, Annika, Umacorn. The hair tuck. It was so short. What are you doing? Ah, Philip, thank you so much. Yes, by all means, feel free to add it to my or to your own Spotify playlists if you so desire. I won't object at all. All right. Bruce Gonzalez, you using a mic? Wow. Oh yeah, no, I was actually it's just singing into the camera audio. So that was part of it too, right? So it was, and by the way, I think I go into Pirate Teeth next because this dude bought 2 songs. I had to remaster the audio because it was just getting a little out of hand. So again, multicam was enough, but now I had to deal with camera audio. So it's actually just the audio from the camera on the piano, which was at the time my Nikon D800, I think. So, but let's see if where'd I go into here. Oh, look at that. It's saying that setup had some sync and audio issues.
Hey there, Todd. Happy holidays from me to you. Here's a little something exclusive for being such a cool dude and buying my music.
Oh, you can hear it's a different audio mix. Something happened that I had to use maybe the hand camera audio, so it sounds further away. It's because it's capturing from the side plus all of the room. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, this tune's not yet released. Well, it needs to be mixed.
Okay. Very serious face there. All right. So those are some of the holiday greetings that I did. Trying to see if there's some other ones. I think I did like different grades for some of them. Oh, yeah, and you can see, here's another one just real quickly. Different days. I saw some people commenting on my pants there. I don't know where those pants came from. Those look like Christmas time at home pants, right? Here I am wearing a ponytail. My God, my beard was so dark too. Wow. Yeah. So there were a lot of these things. And again, I had a lot of fun doing these. And usually it was when this is 2011, so my then now teenager was 4.5 or so. These were just great fun to make, and really glad to be able to share this with you. Okay, so now what I wanted to do, let me just, for the last couple of minutes here, I want to go into just showing you some of this footage. And again, you know, I saw a couple people like, yeah, that could be cool. Just to kind of show you what I had to work with here. Also, this will give you an idea of the breadth and scope of what this project was all about. So this was cool. I think I may have shown this before. This was actually in the folder. So I don't know. Zooming in isn't working because this was like a picture of a picture. But so this was 3 and 4. So this only shows that this was the first 2 days. September 2011, and I had all these different songs and different versions of the theme song, Just Play Music, Gotta Get Up, I'll Be Back, and each of these conform to a different episode title. So this is the pilot episode, was on dynamics. Episode 2, articulations, showing some of these were multicam, and you can see all of these checked off as masters. Here's the amazing thing. It looks like, with the exception of one of these, we had masters, or maybe 2. Yeah. Oh, this is using previous take from February. Interesting. We actually got masters of all of these songs. Remember, all recorded live, and all recorded live at the piano. So any overdubs, which you would see in the show, which I would do later, which were also played live, were played live to piano, done without a click. So we've talked about this on the stream before. Such a youngin', Bruce. You know, as someone who used to be a concert pianist and whose teacher used to make him practice with a metronome, you know, with the threat of being, you know, whacked in the wrists with a ruler, I got really good at playing with the metronome. So look at these best takes. I'm not saying, just take a note here. So okay, the theme song was take 4. Gotta Get Up, that was take 3. With that best, labeling it best, I stole that right from the Beatles recording sessions book. Whenever they would have their best take, they'd always label it best. So articulations, the episode content, take 1, best. Take 2 was a safety. All right. Your Lost Little Girl, cover song, Doors song, take 1, best. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, the very performance. No, not that one. Maybe I'll play the real one if I have it. Oh, the one that's on Spotify and it's on YouTube also. 1 take, first take, best. Christmas by The Who, take 1. We only did 1 take. I guess I thought it was so awesome. It's a Boy, which we never signed off on. I never overdubbed on. That's another Who Christmas cover. It was from Tommy. Also take 1. Heart of the Country. Take 2 for Maybe I'm Amazed. This is really funny too. Take 1 for a song of mine called Carrie Ann. The Blues episode, take 2 was the best. So almost all of these were take 1s. It's just kind of funny. This was my track sheet. Like these are the massive amount of notes that I used for that. All right. And then if you kind of look down, if I go into some of this stuff, this is showing you all the various things here. I wanted to go into some of the, let's see. These were inserts, episodes. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, here's some interesting stuff. So this is the kind of things like you might, you know, you'd be able to see. Oh, so this was like, again, the bass performance, which was overdubbed. By the way, again, some of this I've shown before. So we shot this all, I wanted this to feel like, I wanted it to be unencumbered. In other words, I didn't want to do green screen. I don't like green screen. I don't use it on the stream. I don't like it in general. It's fine for movies, whatever, but I didn't want a show for children to be kind of composited that way. Also, I wanted it to look kind of like Apple commercial style. So everything was shot on white. And you'll see, I mean, you can even see that I am like sweating profusely because it was hot. I like see beads of sweat right there. I don't know if that's coming through on the stream. It was super hot. And I had these like crazy studio lights that I had rented. That's interesting. Oh yeah, so this is like a comp. So we had a mounted camera. I think that's the mounted camera because that doesn't look like that's moving. So I'm moving. And then my one cameraman was following me live, so he's moving, right? We needed so much coverage. And you can imagine when I stared at these 12 or so episodes after it was all done, going, okay, now we're going to edit this. Wait, I'm going to do all of this alone? Like, impossible. So let's see here. So yeah, this is the drum kit. So I think I first did some like beauty shots of the kit. Some of these I love. I think some of these are actually on Behance. By the way, this is my buddy Chip Hanna's, one of his drum kits that I used for this. Let's see. So this is actually me. And again, I would play back. Let me see. The soundtrack might actually be on here. Let me see. So what would happen is I would play back the piano and then play the drums to that. I think, let's see if this has the live audio in it. I'm not sure.
As it all blues
Yeah, so this has the vocal and the
dance
piano,
it, trance it,
bass, that's
just
already been
don't
overdubbed.
confuse it with the things that are replayed by human beings. Cause you've got to just play music.
Let's see.
You've got to just play music. Rock it out or jazz it or blues it. Dance.
Sorry, did I just snort? Whoops. Okay, it's really hard to look at some of those. Then I did this really weird, hold on, this is funny. So I had this idea for some reason. I don't know why I can't find these now. Of doing these extreme close-ups. So I have some of them for like some of these bass inserts. This was for that song Christmas. That's, by the way, that's the Canon 7D with the 50 millimeter 1. F1.2 prime. I'm not finding it. Where are the rest of the inserts? I had all these bizarre, very close-up insert shots that are just so weird. It must be in here. Here they are. Oh no, that's not me. So here's some of the kid shots. That was my kid. He's so little. Okay. Oh, this is the whole session where I was getting him to say, just play music and make weird faces because it's a kid's show. Right? Oh, but I can't find the close-ups. Oh, here we go. I'm not even going to play these. I don't know what I was thinking. Again, this will be, I think this would be good food for the show, for the Get Back style edit. Because I think there's a piece of me on camera going, I can't use this. I decided to shoot myself or film myself. First of all, pre-workout me, hard to look at. It's so close. It's so close up. So that's not framed properly at all. It's terrible. All right. And here's what I'm doing. I'm looking directly at the camera and I'm singing the words of the song. So this is, again, this was me lip syncing after the fact, obviously, because I thought it would be cool to cut in and out of this. If you're a kid, this is scaring the hell out of me. What was I thinking? Also, you can see how hot it is because my eyes are literally drying up and watering because it's so hot and dry. Not all ideas are great ones. You gotta try. You gotta go through a bunch of things. Cody Bear's asking, what made me want to do a kid's show after I had my own kids? That's an excellent question, Cody, and it's something that I've talked about way long ago in the past. So when I used to be a songwriter in Nashville back in the 90s, I had sold a couple songs to some publishing companies, but the feedback I constantly heard was that my songs were too happy or too bouncy. Oh, hold on, I'm going to turn the delay back on here. 1 second. So I was hearing the comments that my songs were too bouncy or too happy a lot. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm just a bouncy, happy guy. And they're like, yeah, but, you know, you need to be edgier or something. Remember, this is also the period of like grunge, but I'm in Nashville. So this is kind of the early Shania Twain era. Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks was still super popular. Faith Hill was coming up at the time. And they were like, yeah, they're just really bouncy, happy kind of, all your songs are just really happy. And I was a huge Beatle fan, so I always had this kind of positive thing in my music. So that's kind of what started it. I started writing songs that they weren't really for kids, but the melodies were just very kid-friendly. They were very diatonic, easy to remember. I was trying to write hooks, you know? And I wasn't great at it, but I was trying to do a lot of that. So I'd written a bunch, well, hundreds of songs, left them in the notebooks they were written in and like didn't revisit them. Cut to about 5 or 6 years later, I was in the UK doing something or 7 years later, doing something for Adobe. Met this gentleman who was a filmmaker who knew, curiously, Paul McCartney and a bunch of other huge celebs. And we were talking about stuff, and we were talking about kids and music, and I didn't have any kids yet. And he was saying, yeah, I'm looking for this kind of a track that McCartney did, but I can't find it. It was like a B-side. And it was this song called, oh my God, I just forgot the name of it. Oh my God. What is the point of a brain? Mama's Little Girl. And I said, oh, that's so funny. I've actually remade that song. I said, I've done a cover of it not so long ago. It's me and acoustic guitar. And I played that for him. And actually, while I'm talking about this, I'm going to see if I can find it. And he said, you should be doing children's music. You've got a knack for, you know, singing and kind of arranging children's songs. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's I'd never kind of seen myself doing that, but okay, why not? Of course, I can't find any of this now. So long story short, that's kind of what did it. And I started writing them, but hadn't really done anything with any of those songs. Oh, here it is. This will take us to the end of the stream. Oh, nice. Cody's moving to Nashville.
Looking like a rag doll, mama's little girl. Singing like a skylark, mama's little girl. You better give me some time for this heart of mine, 'cause I just can't take it all in. Still will remember mama's little girl.
And I'll leave it there. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, and a wonderful holiday. And we will see you in 2022. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.